そうだね。忘れなくてもいいよ、マティウス。アスラの絶望、君のその心の痛み、僕が抱えて生きる。
なんだと、貴様がこの私の痛みをかえるだと。
君も僕の一部なんだから。さあ、おいで。そんな、どうして？いや、嫌よ、いや、アスラ様。マティウス様はもういない。ルカの心、私には手が届かない。私にはもうアスラ様は手に入らない。
And with this, that girl is free from eternal suffering, from the cycle of reincarnation. What was that? The two souls that will continue to suffer within this world. Two souls? You're also talking about the same thing with Hasta before, right? Did I not tell you? I saved their souls from the cycle of reincarnation, something like a charm. And with this, my mission has been achieved. And what about the Genesis? It's over there. Over here. Now, Ruka, what are you planning on doing with that power? How much did you think it would cost if we sell it? Hermana, I know it's a joke, but... I was kidding. Sis Ange, please don't talk that way. I feel like I might wet myself. Can you seal it? I think that's also possible. No, I've already decided what to use it for. I want to create the world Azura wished for. A world with neither Cielo or Taro. A world that's united. I'm sure that's also what the Primordial Giant wished for. That's why this time... Ilya? Cielo and Taro become one. And grant your blessing to all the world. Did the world become one? Yeah, it seems so. Check it out. It's a whole new world. I remember now, so that's why. Why the sudden outburst, Hermana? I remember now. Cielo wasn't destroyed, it just ended up clinging to Taro. What? After Inanna and Azura used the Genesis, Virtua saw lots of souls fall down at Taro. The souls that supported Taro and the Cielo souls became light and fell into the earth. I'm sure they wanted to become one after that. Cielo and Taro both started to melt and pile on top of one another. But halfway there, it stopped. To sum it up, Azura and Inanna's wishes were both granted at the same time here. Azura's wish was to unite Cielo and Taro, and Inanna's was stop the unification of Cielo and Taro. Because these two were granted at the same time, the world ended up becoming bad. What a convenient time for you to remember that, Hermana. So the reason why Cielo and Taro, or I should say unconvenient, so the reason why Cielo and Taro existed at the same time, why reincarnators were able to use Cielo and Arts on Taro, the cycle of rebirth. So that was the reason why souls of Ratio citizens were bonded onto the Lemura's Marsh. The reason why Cielo and Taro existed at the same time, an imperfect world. Aw, crap. So it was cause of me, Inanna, that the world ended up like that? Well, no use crying over spilt milk. It's not as if Inanna purposely wished to stop the unification. That aside, look, it's the world you wished for. A world where Cielo and Terra are one. Yeah. And it seems that we also lost our ability to use Cielo arts. So what now, everyone? We go back to our normal lives. You guys gotta, like, find a way to your own world. And why don't we go back to Regnum for now? Where everything started. And also where I met this dummy for the first time. The war is over. I don't have to be conscripted anymore. There's no more reason for me to leave your side again. I'm so happy that our child will be able to live in a peaceful world. And here's the end of our journey. For some reason, it feels weird. I always thought our journey would continue. Together, always. If it's a journey you want, you could do it at any time. And journeys will always pile up on top of each other. That's just how life is. For you, Ruka, it's just the end of one journey, with many more to come. You're right, I'll have to enjoy my next journey after this one too. Wait, where's Conway and QQ? Oh, them? They just kind of disappeared, without even a farewell. Oh, I wanted to say goodbye to them. Oh, so everyone, what are we gonna do after this? I'm worried about the Grigori. They must be in disarray now that their leader's gone. I want to lead them to a better way, something like that. Well, that sounds like a pain. You sure you're alright with this, old man? You're still too young to understand the honor of inheriting the will of the man you respected. Sir Ricardo, I'm glad I hired you, from the bottom of my heart. Bye, old man. Come and play once in a while, okay? And you, Hermana? Oh yeah, first of all, I have to check on Michelle and Gaetano. I'm gonna have to work so I can send them off to school myself. Ah, I have a nice idea. Once I built my own school, I'll let them enroll, free of charge. Oh yeah, why do you wanna like be a teacher so you can like boss people around or something? I remember that skit. That's nice to hear, and I'll leave it to ya. I gotta go now. Make sure to take care of yourself, Ruka, because you're kind of frail. It'd be bad if you ended up pushing yourself. Oh, I'll be fine. I'm still worried, but first, I'ma go now. See you later, bye. And then there were 4. Now I must return to Niles and rebuild the Grand Cathedral. I was the one who demolished it after all. Do you have the money for that? Well, I do have something saved, but I wonder if that's enough. First and foremost, I must find a sponsor and... I heard news that you guys were here, so I came. And if you don't mind, may I provide you some assistance? Yay, first patron found! Now hold on a moment, Elia. But Albert, I'd rather not burden you. Is it truly alright? It's because you're important to me that I'm offering you my assistance. Right now, I want to be the only one who walks beside you. Not as your student, Hamel, but as myself, Albert. And once the cathedral has been rebuilt, would you like to come with me to Tenos? To Tenos? Sure, I've grown fond of the food and climate there. But first we must start as friends. Just kidding. Let's be off, Albert. Man, I wish they fleshed out Ange so that Albert and Ange storyline can actually feel, like, fulfilling. To capture a noble's heart, how skillful. Now why don't I pay my dad a visit? Let's hang out again, see ya. Wait, you're leaving already? Everyone's leaving. Stay with us a bit longer, Spada. You gonna miss me? Ruka, we live in the same town. We can just hang out whenever. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, you're right. Feel free to come by. Oh, about that, I've been thinking about something. If the Milda and the Beformer family are quite close, then it might be possible. Ilya, I enjoy being with you. Don't whip Ruka around too much or I'll hate you. You don't already hate her? I already hate this chick. Mind your business, just go already. See ya. Ilya, can I borrow your gun? I'm gonna show you a trick. All you have to do is, like, stay incredibly still. Everyone left, huh? Yeah. It's farewell now. Koda's gonna be lonely. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go now too. I have to rebuild my village. Yeah. Make sure to become a splendid doctor, Ruka. I'm sure you'll be able to do it if you put your mind to it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ilya. Oh, here we go. Ilya, I'll visit you, I promise. Yeah, so until then, bye-bye. This is the worst love story in all of Tales of. Bye! Oh, I get to move around? I guess I'm going to my house. Oh, you idiots are here. Ruka! Ruka, you're okay. Eddie, Nino, what's the matter? Could it be that you were waiting for me? Ain't that obvious? I heard that those captured by the deviant reformer whatever got released. So we thought you'd come back eventually. After all, the backup we did for you, you still got caught by the military, right? That's why we were really worried. I see. Thanks for waiting for me. That said, we kind of have a favor to ask you. You see, our homework doesn't seem to be ending. It sounds like a you problem. And school is bound to start soon, so if it's you, homework's just a piece of cake, right? Please help us. Sure, then can you treat me to some hot dogs? Ruka, look at what you're saying. You sure have grown. Has he? Has he really? Curses, he got the better of us. Can't be helped. We'll treat you as much as you want. Then we'll come back later with some homework. Later, okay? I didn't think we'd see those two idiots again. Now I wonder how I'm gonna greet Mom and Dad. Let's find out. I can smell Mom's soup from here. It's not like I ran away, but I'm sorry I made you worry. Welcome back, my dearest Ruka. Welcome back, Ruka. I'm home. The world changed. No one probably knows that I changed the world, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that it's something different. I found myself and regained what the past me has lost. And somewhere in this world, somewhere in this wonderful world, my journey will continue. Let's sit on that for a bit. Ruka changing the world, no one knowing, that makes me more mad, and that makes this ending just feel very unearned. Eternally into the future, always. Roll credits, thank you. Well, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna see anything with QQ and Conway. I mean, they were added to the game. I got some, like, witnessing the ending, I just got even more, like, thoughts. But my opinion of this game is a major letdown. It is not very good. It's probably one of the worst Tales games I've ever played. The good, easy. The combat's really fun. The music's really nice. And there are some good skits. That's it. That's all the good. I don't like the story. I think the story has some interesting themes. I like the reincarnator stuff. I think it's really interesting. They also had some stuff come up later in the game that I thought would have been really good. Tales of Innocence, like, Conway, like, got to, like, release souls or something? Why was that not prevalent throughout the entire game? And I know people are gonna come at me being like, Nova, Conway, and QQ were optional or not optional. They were added for the R release of the game, so they couldn't just change the story. I cannot imagine playing this game without Conway and QQ, because they're like the only characters I actually kind of like. Do I love them? No, but I actually like them. I don't know. I think for Innocence R, they that doesn't necessarily mean that they should have kept the same story. I think they could have rewrote it. I would have liked it if that soul thing was like prevalent throughout the entire game, and then Conway was just like, my mission is complete, and I'm just like, really? Your mission? The mission that you were like very vague about and you were playing dumb with and you didn't like tell us anything? That mission? The mission that like came out of thin air? I know that people are going to be like, oh, they were added for the R release, they couldn't make them relevant, but the game would have been so much better if QQ and Conway were relevant, because they're like the best characters, and they're not even like amazing, they're just the best characters. I hate Elia. Spada I feel like is cool. Spada has some moments I don't like about him, but Spada's like cool, that's like it. Hermana's like fine. She's there. Ruka, I honestly, like, I thought Ruka was fine, but Ruka started to bother me in the late game. Ricardo and Ange are there. They're neat. The characters just don't get fleshing out. The story, like, sucks. The story feels like, oh, yeah, let's grab our memories with, the memory springs or whatever, and then, like, there's, like, no sense of urgency for the world. So it's kind of like nothing is really pushing the story along other than the plot demanding it. And that'd be fine, but the characters just aren't that good. it really feels like the story, like, in the beginning, like, the characters are supposed to carry it, but the characters kind of suck. So they don't really do a good job of that. So many interesting themes of reincarnation and the whole, like, Anana despair, or not Anana, but the whole Matthias despair with, Azura's despair or whatever is really cool. So many interesting themes. The Cielo Castello, the Cielo and Taro, like, being unified and divided, and, like, the idea of Ruka, like, bringing a new world. So many interesting themes. Execution was awful. Actually terrible. Not good. Not good at all. This could have been a great Tales game, and I wanted to like it for what it was, but no, it just wasn't. The story sucked, the characters sucked. What else? There was something else I wanted to say. When Ruka said, like... When Ruka said at the very end of the game, like, what was it? He said, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring the world... I brought the world together, I saved the world, but no one really noticed. That just made me more angry. Because, like... It's just, like, they talked about the Cielo and Taro, but, like, they never really made it... I think the world building just was lacking. They never really made you care about this world, and they never spent enough time dwelling on this world to explain its problems. So, like, when Ruka said that, I was just kind of like, since when was the world, like, having a problem with all of this? Like, since when was the world in need of this, in need of fixing, basically? Like, the game never made it seem like the world was in need of fixing. They just kind of brought that in at the end because they realized, like, oh, we need to, like, wrap up the story somehow. It just feels really out of nowhere. And the characters don't develop at all. They barely even get their moments. Like, they have arcs, quote unquote. Like, Ange's arc with, Albert could have been so much better. Ricardo's betrayal could have been so much better. Hermana doesn't really get anything. Ilia and Ruka, Ilia doesn't change. She's still the same scumbag she is from the start of the game. But for some reason, she and Ruka, like, have a relationship. It's the worst romance in all of Tales of. Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing the post-game. I might not. I don't even think I want to do the post-game, to be honest. Because Conway and QQ are cool, but, like, I don't think they're worth doing the post-game for. But that could change. Maybe I'll do it. I might do it for YouTube only. Probably. I don't know. I don't really see... Oh, there's Conway and QQ. I guess they're back in their world or something. Somehow. I saw, like, I don't really see people, like, praise this game heavily. A lot of people just haven't played this game. I did see some people, like, saying, like, oh, this is one of the top tier Tales games, like, in the first video of Innocence, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's looking to be a good Tales game. But it wasn't. It started off promising and then kind of just... It shot for the stars and fell, as it were. With this, we shall cross 1,000 years and be the first ones to return from this world. And it's all thanks to Ruka and the others. Perhaps I should have at least bid them farewell. That's very much like you. Most likely, but we no longer have anything to do with them. After all, this is no longer the world we know. QQ, this is the last we'll see of this world. That's why we can at the very least try and use its language. Yes, understood. The demonic spear and the Lady of Misfortune's souls. I already claimed what I wanted. QQ, are you not going to bring back anything from this world? I see. Then our make-pretend friendship ends here. Yeah, you guys are like enemies or something? I got that from the skits. Well, like, I guess we're not gonna know why until I do the post-game, which is stupid. And beyond this is the same as usual. Yes, the next time we meet, we will be as enemies. Do not dare think I will go easy on you. Understood. Next time, QQ kill you. I'd like to see you try. Farewell, QQ. See ya, Conway. It's so stupid that I need to play the post-game to learn more about them. I get it, there are characters, but that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it, or okay with it. To think that I could have played a much inferior version to this already bad game. To be continued to next reimagination. What does that mean? Like the post-game? What do you mean by next reimagination? Somewhere in the world, the door to the Triverse Gate, that's the post-game dungeon in Hearts. Due to its influence, you can now see the translation of QQ and Kongwane's language. I'm not going to say we won't do it, but I'm definitely not in a rush to do it, like, right now. I will consider doing it. But yeah, I was saying something, wasn't I? Yeah, the characters don't really get, like, developed all that well. They don't really get their moments. Their moments feel, like, rushed and, like, nothing, basically. Like, Ricardo's arc could have been better. Angie's arc could have been better. Hermione didn't really get an arc. Elia, like, didn't really change. Ruka's arc feels, like, very whatever. Yeah. Characters are just bad. And the length of the game is, like, another thing. But, like, I mean, I feel like the length is just, like... That's fine. Because there are short games I play that are really satisfying stories. Like, Grandia 2 is my biggest example. It's like a 20 to 30 hour game, depending if you're talking to NPCs or not. But its story is, like, it's really deep and really well layered. But this game just has a bunch of themes that it waves in people's face and doesn't really do anything with them. So, yeah. I just feel like the short length doesn't really excuse it from being, like... No, don't play that. The short length doesn't really excuse it from being a bad story or like a short story. There are short games that I really love. Live Alive, yeah, that's another one. I love Live Alive. Chrono Trigger is on the shorter side, and Chrono Trigger is like, you know, not one of my favorite games, but its story is really good, I think. It's pretty good. So the length really has nothing to do with it. And I don't mind the game being length, but the game did not make my time worth it. Basically. It was DS? Yeah, I know it's DS, and I'm not complaining about the length. I'm just saying that the length is not, like, I'm not complaining about the length, and the length is not an excuse for the story being the way it is. Because there are short games that can make good stories. Short games can have good stories. And plus, this game wasn't that short. It was like 28 hours. I feel like 28 hours is fine. It wasn't under 20 hours. I feel like that's perfectly fine. Of a length. It's just like... They have so many themes that they just present. And they just, they have so many themes to present, but they don't really flesh them out or build them up at all. So, the length really has nothing to do with it, because, you know, other games do it better. But yeah, I don't know. Probably one of the worst Tales games I've ever played. I don't know if it is the worst, but it's probably one of the worst. So, yeah. I don't know if I'll do the post-game. Maybe I'll do the post-game. I'm undecided. I might do the post-game. If I don't, like... If you're on YouTube, don't, like, be expecting, like, oh, Nova's gonna be doing the post-game for Innocence R. Like, I might do it. I might not. I'm not sure. I might decide to do it. I might not. It's as simple as that. It depends if I feel like it. But if I move on to another Tales game and having not done the post-game for this, then that might happen. That might happen, too. But yeah, we're done with Innocence R, at least for now, and I'll play another Tales game soonish, probably in the summer. I'll get one started, we'll see. I have a couple of other games I want to do and other releases coming out. But yeah, eventually I'll get to another Tales game, because I still love this series. But Innocence R is just a bad game in my favorite series. So yeah, we'll get to another Tales game in the summer. Hopefully one I like, because I need it. But yeah, we're done. Tomorrow I'll finish Rebirth. Friday, I think... I'm doing it like this. Rebirth tomorrow. Friday and Saturday, Divine Force. Sunday, X2, Mega Man X2. And then Monday and Tuesday are those two games I've been hyping up. That's how I'm going to do it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.